At 18 years old, Conor McGregor was waking up before sunrise, not to chase a dream, but to survive a life he never wanted. Every morning, he put on work boots, picked up heavy tools, and walked into a job that slowly drained him. He was a plumber's apprentice, and he hated every second of it, physically and mentally. Because deep down, Conor believed something that didn't match his reality. He believed he was meant for greatness. Not someday, not maybe, but absolutely. And the problem with that kind of belief is that it becomes impossible to ignore. Conor McGregor was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1988. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood. Life wasn't easy and success wasn't expected. There were no shortcuts, no connections, and no clear path to becoming extraordinary. Like many kids, he played sports growing up, especially football. But nothing about his early life suggested he would become a global icon. There was no spotlight, no hype, no special treatment. Just a normal kid in a normal environment. But inside, something was different. That difference started to show when Conor discovered combat sports. At first, it was just curiosity. Then it became obsession. He began training in small gyms, places with worn-out mats, limited equipment, and no fame attached to them. There were no cameras, no crowds, no money, just discipline, pain, repetition. While others trained casually, Conor trained like someone who had already seen his future. He wasn't just learning how to fight. He was building an identity, but belief alone doesn't solve real-life problems. Conor was still broke, still working long hours, still stuck between two worlds. The life he was living and the life he believed he deserved. Every day, that gap got harder to tolerate, until one day he made a decision that most people never have the courage to make. He walked away. He quit his job. No backup plan. No guaranteed income. No safety net. Just a clear, almost dangerous belief. I'm going to make this work. What followed wasn't success. It was struggle. Real struggle. Conor had no stable income. He relied on government welfare checks just to survive. His girlfriend, Dee Dublin, stood by his side during this time, supporting him emotionally when there was almost nothing else to hold on to. There were days when money was so tight that basic things became difficult. Food, travel, training, everything required sacrifice. And yes, there were moments when he didn't even have a place to sleep. Nights in his car, cold, uncertain, alone. Most people break in those moments. That's where dreams usually end, but Conor didn't break. He doubled down. He trained harder. He visualized success more intensely. He spoke about his future like it had already happened. He would tell people, "I'm going to be a world champion." People laughed. They didn't see what he saw. They saw a broke fighter with no achievements. He saw a future that didn't exist yet. His professional fighting career began in small promotions. No big arenas, no massive audiences, no life-changing money, just fights and pressure. But something about Conor stood out immediately. It wasn't just his skill, it was his presence. If his confidence wasn't normal, it wasn't quiet, it wasn't hidden. It was loud, direct, unapologetic. And when he stepped into the cage, he backed it up. Knockouts, precision, control. He wasn't just winning, he was making people notice. Then came the opportunity that changed everything. In 2013, Conor McGregor signed with the UFC. For most fighters, getting into the UFC is the goal. For Conor, it was just the stage. From the moment he arrived, he understood something most fighters didn't. Fighting wasn't just about performance. It was about attention. He didn't just fight, he spoke. He predicted. He entertained. He created moments before the fight even started. Some people hated him. Some people loved him. But no one ignored him. Inside the octagon, he continued to deliver. Fight after fight, he finished opponents with speed and precision. His left hand became one of the most dangerous weapons in the sport. But more importantly, his confidence began turning into reality. Everything he said started happening. Then came the biggest test of his career. Jose Aldo, a champion who had dominated the division for years, a fighter many believed was unbeatable. The build-up was intense, the pressure was massive, but Conor didn't change. He remained confident, focused, certain. December 12, 2015, the fight began, and 13 seconds later, it was over, one punch. Jose Aldo was knocked out. Conor McGregor became the UFC featherweight champion. In just 13 seconds, everything changed. That moment didn't just make him a champion, it made him a global superstar. But Conor wasn't interested in staying comfortable. He wanted more risk, more history, more greatness. He moved up in weight to chase a second title, something no fighter had ever achieved before. In the UFC, people doubted him. They said it was too much, too soon, too dangerous. Then came Eddie Alvarez, the lightweight champion, the fight that would define history. What happened next was dominance, complete control, precision striking, confidence at its peak. Conor dismantled Alvarez and became the first fighter in UFC history to hold two titles simultaneously, from sleeping in his car to standing at the top of the sport. But success brings something else: pressure, fame, distraction, expectations. Conor's life changed rapidly. Money, businesses, global attention. Everything he once dreamed of became reality. But maintaining greatness is harder than reaching it. Losses came. Criticism followed. People began to question him. Was he still hungry? Was he still focused? Had success changed him? But no matter what people said, one thing couldn't be erased. Conor McGregor changed the sport. He changed how fighters get paid. He changed how fights are promoted. He changed what it means to be a superstar in combat sports. His journey isn't perfect. It's not clean. It's not simple, but that's what makes it real. Because at one point, he had nothing, no money, no platform, no guarantee, just belief. A belief so strong that it carried him from the lowest moments of his life to the highest level of global success. Conor McGregor wasn't supposed to make it. He was just another fighter from a small neighborhood with a dream too big for his reality, but he refused to think small. And in doing so, he forced the world to see him exactly how he saw himself. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment who you want next. Welcome to Victory Grid, where we tell the stories behind greatness.